I can't really say anything about kind of the quote-unquote tourist destinations, you know, the game reserves, the beaches, the country. I'm sure it's absolutely fantastic. Best I got was a drive to Rustenburg after dark with someone going, oh, that's really nice over there. And I'm going, where? That was the closest I came to the kind of holiday stuff. And then I got taken on a tour of Soweto with a guy called Joe. Just a lovely, lovely man who'd obviously been involved in Steve Biko's student movement, and you know, was an activist from time back, and had an amazing story to tell himself. And of course the first place he takes me is the Apartheid Museum. If you imagine this guy who has lived through the battle against apartheid, has lived through South Africa becoming at last a free and democratic country, you know, where people are genuinely equal in terms, you know, and not it isn't down to the colour of your skin where you fit. For someone to have lived through that, and they're taking you to Soweto, and they're taking you to the Apartheid Museum. To be fair to Joe, he took me to the Apartheid Museum. He said, I'll see you in a couple of hours. You know, you go places around the world where, you know, you go and see whether it's castles or old houses or art galleries. There's always history, there's always culture, there's always... In South Africa, you have the feeling that you're actually there at a time when history is being made. And I cannot tell you, that is... And nowhere more so than that Apartheid Museum. And you're aware that you're going around with kind of parties of school kids. You know, and these are kind of groups of 10, 11, 12-year-old kids out of Soweto, out of other places around Johannesburg. And the amazing thing is, suddenly you think, these kids are looking at history. You know, Joe, I've just got out of Joe's car. He lived through every last minute of this. And those kids... it's already history. He dropped me off at Soccer City. And I'd tried to go with an open mind, but obviously you're aware a lot of people have said, oh, it won't, you know, they'll be behind, the infrastructure won't work, this will be a problem, that will be a problem. And then you go and see a project like Soccer City. And the place is, I mean, it is, just in architectural terms, it's an absolute masterpiece. You know, it's not down to me to criticise, but what have we got? We've got Wembley, and it's got a kind of bit of scaffolding over the top, and that's... Yeah. This thing is like this huge bowl that's coloured on the outside, all kind of red and ochre and kind of colours like that, so that it looks like a giant cooking pot. And then they've put lights all around the bottom of it, so that at night when you come to it, it's as if there's a fire going on underneath this cooking pot. And of course, when there is a night game, the floodlights will be on inside, and it will look like... I really do think it could be the greatest World Cup of all time. If for no other reason, then it will be part of history being made. You know, this won't be a World Cup that's all about, although these things will come into it, it won't be a World Cup that's all about making money. Won't be a World Cup that's all about growing football as a sport in a new market like it was in the United States or in Japan and South Korea, because South Africa obviously is already football mad. You know, you can say what you like about the rugby and cricket, but football is South Africa's sport. Certainly it's the sport of black South Africa. I actually think that a World Cup being there could genuinely change. It could change the way the world looks at South Africa, and probably more important, I think it could change the way South Africa looks at itself.